I don't usually make videos about phone in these categories, but the Galaxy A37 has genuinely surprised me in hand. Now I want to see if the gaming story, the specs, and the Samsung ecosystem makes this phone worth caring about. And most importantly, if this phone is one that you should be considering. Now starting with the design, and frankly I think this is one of the parts that really surprised me, because on holding this phone, yes, it is very light, positive, because I like just how nice and light it feels in the hand. If you look around the bezels, actually, they've shrunk so much and it's still got this chin here. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's so much more reduced than I thought it would be. And I think the one thing that stands out to me the first time I hold this phone are the rails. So it's got this, I think, polycarbonate type kind of material here. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but it feels absolutely amazing, even better than their S26 series. I'm not going to lie, like it's one of the things that I first noticed when I held it. Next is just how nice it feels, and again, it doesn't attract any fingerprint as well, which even some of the more premium phones don't have this feature. Now, as with almost every phone, we have a camera here and you've got your zoom here, so it's a 1x camera and your ultra wide right there. It's pretty fast, it's pretty snappy, as you can see right here. And one of the things I love about Samsung is you can actually customize your looks here. So in case you did not know, you can actually have like cinematic film, you can have modern film, crystal, vivid film, and you have like this film profiles like built right into your phone. Or you can just like take a photo like from your gallery and use that to make a look. So I'm just going to tap on that photo there and it will use AI, as you can see right there, to actually create a filter. And now we have a filter based on the photo. So this is a quick way for those who don't know to be able to even get like your own custom filters as well. And that is still present here on the Galaxy A37. And some of the settings I always change, of course, is to turn on motion photos. So that way, when you take a photo like this and let's say we move and we check out the photo in the gallery and you tap on view motion photo, you can actually see it records that bit there. That is always very nice. Another thing is when we go into the video mode there, let's check out what are some of the video settings you have. And you actually can go all the way to UHD. And of course, this one maxes out at 30 frames. You don't get 60 frames here. But for me, I would always use 30 frames anyway. So 30 frames, which is pretty nice. And you still get the benefit of being able to zoom in. So like color me impressed with at least what we have here. And if we're going to the megapixel mode there, you see that we have that 50 megapixels high resolution mode. But you have to take note into account that when you go into that mode, you lose the ability to have 2 times zoom right there. So that's definitely something you want to watch out for. But other than that, I would say, yes, it's a very familiar interface. And for me, I think one of the last settings I'm just quickly doing, not a setup guide, but is what I will change anyway, in case you have your A37 in your hand and you always wonder the kind of settings that I'll change. I would always go into my options. I'll enable location tags there. I would enable composition guide. And I think I would enable shooting methods here and settings to keep rather, so that the camera mode, no matter when I exit and I come back into the camera app, I'll be able to have the same modes right there. And as you can see, I now have the on-screen guides right there. So yeah, camera here is of course not the best camera in the world. And of course, I will be doing my dedicated camera test. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And yes, I do like that there is not a lot of shutter lag. And if I can zoom in right there, it looks pretty good. As you can see, Mr. Mario right there, right? Yeah. So I look forward to doing more camera samples here because that's the part of the phone I love the most. But you know, just from first impressions, it doesn't look bad at all. Though I would have to admit, this is in great light. I have lots of light in my studio. So in real life, I wonder how it will be like. But again, make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss that when it comes out. Where you do get the benefit of performance here on this Galaxy A37, in my experience here, has been in just regular use, you know, like scrolling through social media. As you can see, I'm on Twitter right here. Let me go into my Instagram. And if I go into my Instagram right here as well, you can be able to see like just how fast it is. And you can see that 120 hertz refresh rate, which I really, really, really love. Like, see how fast that is. Like how is this possible at this price point? Someone has to explain it to me. But yes, it's really, really smooth. It's really, really fast right here. And when it comes to just your regular use, like let me go into Facebook as well, it's really, really nice and snappy and very, very interactive. Now, Samsung gave me this A37 at their event, and I had to unbox it out in broad daylight as if I got it off of nefarious ways, or it fell off a truck or something. But it came with all of the regular things that usually come in the box. Now, moving on to the quick specs here, you've got a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display. It's 120 Hz. And if we go into the settings there and we go under the display here, you can actually see it's 120 Hz, which is very impressive that we have that here. It's an Exynos 1480 CPU with up to 2.75 gigahertz, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's got 8 or 12 gigabytes of memory options depending on the one that you pick up. If we go to the back there, we saw some of the camera array. So it's got a 50 megapixel wide camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide, and 5 megapixel macro. It's got 5000 milliampere battery, which I would say it's about 2 days of battery life in my experience, or even some more. And more importantly, it's got super fast charging 2.0, which means you get up to 60% in 30 minutes, according to Samsung Malaysia, which is amazing. It's also got IP68 protection and Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, and most importantly, up to 6 years of OS upgrades and 6 years of security updates, which I think in this price range is something you are not going to find. I think for me, that's the standout feature. That means that when all of the new OSs come, so if we're going to the settings right here and we go into about phone and software update, I believe there should be a software update, but we already have One UI 8.5 that launched with the device, but you are rest assured that you're going to be getting many more updates for many more years to come. I think that's one of the biggest selling points of this Galaxy A37. Now, one of the things that Samsung really talked about when it came to the Galaxy A37 here is the gaming capabilities. Now, I'm not quite sure how much you can push it, and I'm going to play some games in a while, which I've downloaded here. But for something so slim, I'm going to tell you I am a doubter. So let's find out. And right off the bat, one thing that I have noticed with the A37 is that it does take a little while longer to load shaders or to download some of the heavy files that some of these games will have. So that's something to take into account. I remember when I first set up the phone, I'd already set up all of the shaders and everything, but with a new update like this, you might have to go for a coffee break or a tea break or a gaming break or something while it compiles the shaders, because it does take a while, I'll tell you that. And when it comes to the gaming performance, I would say that you have to manage your expectations here. Like, while I think Samsung has really mentioned a lot about the gaming performance here and everything, just to be realistic, I would say you definitely cannot play this at the maximum settings, right? So you're not cranking this up all the way to the max and then playing it and expecting that, okay, you're going to get the best quality. I don't think so. So you're definitely going to have to manage the settings there. But if you can get it to a good enough settings, I would say you can be able to have long gaming sessions like I have here. So you do have to watch out for that long shader compilation and just how long it takes to actually get into the game. That is definitely something that it shows that this is a mid-range or low-end phone here, where you are not instantly getting into games or instantly getting all of those shader compilations. Now, for this next section, something that doesn't always show up in the price tag is ecosystem. And I specifically want to talk about the Samsung ecosystem. So let's say I have the Galaxy Buds here. I just open this up, and just like that, it should be able to pop up here on the screen. So you can be able to see just how integrated it is, where you can connect your buds easily. We have the Watch 8 Classic right here. You can also connect this rather easily to the phone as well, which leads me to Samsung having the entire ecosystem, from your washer to your TV to your watch to your earbuds, and everything is all interconnected with smart things. It's all interconnected with your Galaxy Store. For example, I bought a font on my other Samsung device and I can install that here as well. I, in fact, even have LumaFusion, which is my video editing app of choice when I'm on mobile. I can be able to download that even here on the A37. So I think one of the things that you have to put when it comes to just the overall value of a phone, for example, is not just the upfront price you're going to be paying, but how well it works with other products in the ecosystem. And I would say Samsung has some of the best ecosystems that we have out there, period. And this is one of the reasons why I like it, because it's just so easy for me to use and set up. And I bet for you as well, it's going to be easy for you to use and set up as well, just with everything. There's an expensive elephant in the room. So let's talk about price and let's talk about value. Now, for many people, of course, they're going to compare the Galaxy A37 here with a used, or maybe if you can pick it up, new Galaxy A55. And you know what? Fair enough, because you can probably get some of these phones on discount. But let's say you don't want to get it on discount. Let's say you're looking at the A37 on its own and you're wondering, like, will it be worth the price tag? Because here in Malaysia, at retail, the 8 gig and 256 gig model goes for about 1,699 Malaysian ringgit, which conversions on screen right now. While when it comes to that, it's definitely on the pricier side. And of course, we've talked about the ecosystem and all of that. But let's be honest, if you cannot afford it, or if it's out of your price range, it's out of your price range and it's on the pricier side. So I would say go to the Samsung website, the Samsung store, not the one on the phone here, but the actual Samsung store. I know they get a lot of deals there. If the A37 is one that you're particularly interested in, you're already convinced that you want to get this phone, there are always other options. For all the other options, there's rarely anyone that there is all of the 6 years of software updates, for example, which I think for me is just mind-blowing, because that means that you can have like more future protection for your investment in whatever it is that you want to buy. And let's not forget that this phone has that IP68 water resistance, a good display here, the Samsung Galaxy ecosystem, and a lot more. But, you know, if that is right up your alley, I think the A37, though the price might be a bit much upfront, might be something to consider. Or you could always go for the senior brother if you can get it on discount. So this is the latest A57. This is 2 generations before the A55. I really love the A55. So this is a solid phone as well. If you can get it on a good discount, this can be like a potentially good replacement there, or even the more expensive A57, which this year is even more sleeker. I really like this phone as well. Or if this one, the phone of the moment, the A37 right here, let's not forget this just has 8 gigs of RAM. So of course, you're not going to be getting all of the top performance of the big dog here, which is the S26 Ultra for sure. You're not going to be getting that. And you did see just how the buds popped up because I opened it. You gotta love the Samsung Galaxy ecosystem. And of course, you can see the display differences here as well. So this one, easily no. But I would say for what you get here, is pretty good is what I would say. And coming to my conclusions, I would say the Galaxy A37 has really surprised me, especially with just the build quality. Like, this is one where, you know, when I got the phone, I was like, okay, that's weird. Why is Samsung giving me the A37? But then I used it, I held it for the first time, and I was like, oh, wow, this actually feels good. And for me, that was very surprising. And if this is a phone you're looking at, I would say yes. Like, and trust me, I use all the premium phones. This phone does not disappoint when it comes to just the build quality. The price and the gaming performance, however, is the one where you will have to use your judgment here, because it can be a bit pricey. I have to admit that. So make sure if you're looking to get this, you know, you're using all of the deals as much as you can. And when it comes to the gaming performance, I would be honest with you, you have to manage your expectations. It's not going to be playing everything at maximum settings, or some games even medium settings, but that's okay, provided you know how to work with what you've got. And right here, I've got the A57 and the A37. So you let me know if you want me to do any comparisons between these two devices. And I would have to say that it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. When I first got the A37, I didn't have high expectations, but you know, I'm not going to lie. It has surprised me. So there you have it, best friends. This is the Galaxy A37. It's been my quick hands-on, my first impressions, my sort of extended hands-on with this device. Do you have the A37? Are you considering getting the A37? Have you made your mind up? Are you still considering it? Do you have a different Samsung device? Do you want advice? Make sure you leave all of those comments down below so that not just me would see it, but maybe someone else who can help you as well in this wonderful community. But yes, I've been a captain of awesome. This is Geekception. I really appreciate that you've made it all the way to the end of the video here. Please make sure you take care of yourself. Text me when you get home so I know you got home safe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye. And thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate you making it here. For me, I've gotten some new Razer stuff there, which I think I'll bring this close by. Since you made it all the way to the end of the video, right? You might as well. It's this, which is like a laptop cooler. So I'm not quite sure it's like really, really big, this laptop cooler, but that's the next thing that I'm trying to work on right now. I've been obsessed with Forza. I just got my gold band and unlocked Legend Island. So tell me what you're obsessed with. Leave hashtag Legend Highland. So I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. And please, I look forward to hearing all of the things that have been going on with you. I cannot wait to finish this video so I can go play some more Forza. But yes, I'll catch you in the next one. All right, bye.